Welcome back. You're watching Market Fatafat writer on ET now, and let's talk about stocks that are buzzing on news flow as well as on technicals. Talking about technicals, we have Dhwani Patel joining us on the show. Very good afternoon to you, Dhwani, and let's talk about the first stock that you have on your list is NMDC. This particular counter has a lot of things working for it, given the fact that they're trying also to look at the lithium mining as well. But on the charts, are you seeing some positive bias coming in for NMDC?
Yes, absolutely. Good afternoon. And NMDC as a chartical structure right now is looking really very good on the bullish side, because what we are seeing over here on weeklies is that the momentum is picking up over here. We are seeing the ADX moving above 25 over here on the positive side. And from the current levels, one can go long into it for a target which will be initially at 130, and a stop loss also comes at 110, which makes it a very good risk reward trade.
Okay, but we also spoke to Amitava Mukherjee, Chairman and Managing Director at NMDC, in terms of the capacity augmentation plans that they have that are underway, and he also touches upon the deliberations over acquiring stake in NMDC Steel. Let's listen in.
So there are a lot of capacity augmentation plans that are underway, and some would be coming in stream in the next 3-4 years. So around 100 million ton, along with our subsidiary, which is the NMDC CMDC Limited, both together we should be able to do 100 million ton. There are talks that around 10% stake would be offered to NMDC, although formally such communication has not been received as yet. But as and when it does, of course, we'll look at it. Obviously, we do not mind taking a 10% stake on that.
Okay, that was the management of NMDC for y'all. But let's move on and talk about Manappuram Finance. And why is Manappuram Finance in focus today? We're seeing that this morning we saw a bulk deal that actually happened in Manappuram Finance, and post that we've seen that the stock price is actually falling in trade. Now, the number of shares that were traded, the change of equity hands that has happened is of around 13 lakh shares in bunch trade. Obviously, the names of the buyers and the sellers are still something that we are watching out for and, waiting for in terms of the names that would be coming in over there. But let's keep an eye out on Manappuram Finance today. As of now, recovered from the day's lowest point, but still down 4.5% in trade after that block deal has happened. So keep an eye out on the names.
All right, let's keep on in the spotlight a whole host of companies, not just one or two. There are multiple stocks that you need to watch out for. Let me first talk about the stocks that are declining in trade. The Page Industries, Nykaa, Indus Towers, as well as HDFC, AMC. All of these stocks are under pressure in today's trading session. And the reason for that is that NSE has excluded these stocks from their Nifty Next 50 index, and this effective September 29. They also had excluded ACC as well, but that one is actually marching ahead in line with the rest of the Adani Group counters. But on the flip side, the stocks that have been included in the Nifty Next 50 PNB is Shriram Finance, you have Trent, TVS Motor, as well as Zydus Life. So those counters are going to be included, and some of them are seeing good positive gains in the range of above 0.4% to as much as 3% in today's trading session. So watch out for all of these names.
Okay, let's move on. And Dhwani, Adani Ports is the stock that you've picked out for us on the charts. What are we expecting in terms of the targets over here? What should it be that one should be keeping an eye out on in terms of Adani Ports? 44% return almost in the last 6 months is what's it given. Today also the stock is passing in trade. Now what should we expect?
So we are seeing mostly all the Adani stocks buzzing in, but then there are certain counters in Adani which show more conviction. Adani Ports is one of those where the chartical structure is showing more conviction over here. Overall, if you're talking about volumes also, which is the secondary confirmation for the trend, we are seeing a volume picking up in this particular counter. From current levels, one can expect a target of 900, keeping a stop loss at 795.
All right, so that's the word coming in for Adani Ports. PVR Inox, Ankita, why is this in the spotlight?
That's correct, Cheryl. PVR Inox is in focus today because CLSA has come out with a note and they're maintaining a buy on the counter with a target price of 2,015 rupees per share. Now, According to them, this is the firm's highest ever and industry's highest ever admission in the past 10 years. Now, success of latest Hindi films that we saw coming in to address the concerns of under-delivery by Bollywood movies, and also they expect PVR's occupancy to rise from 22% in Q1 to 30% by FY26. Now, the latest trends reconfirm that multiplexes in India do not face any structural risks from OTT platforms, and on the back of that, CLSA is maintaining a buy on the counter. And we did, of course, see the success coming in from Barbie and Oppenheimer that really gave a boost to PVR Inox.
Surely a boost coming in for PVR Inox over there. A lot of releases also that is supporting PVR Inox. But let's move on, and Lemon Tree. Dhwani, Lemon Tree as a stock, when you look at it, last 6 months, 27% return, has been maintaining and holding on to gains even in the last month as well. It's always been gaining traction. What is the indication on the charts in terms for Lemon Tree now? What is the up move that you're expecting here? Is it actually that you're expecting an up move, or maybe it's time to start booking some profits?
In this particular counter, what we are seeing from quite some time since the listing time, if I have to see the data, 103 to 100 is a kind of a resistance that always works out. But this particular counter, we are not seeing any up moves coming in over here. In today's session, we have seen a good move coming in here with volumes. But then again, I would suggest a cautious view over here that once you are already holding and booking profits over here, any breakout about 105 is a fresh entry point. But it's now to book in profits in Lemon Tree.
Right, Lisa, coming to you, Coal India, why is this in focus in today's trading session?
Well, it was under pressure in early morning trade, and that is because it's trading ex-dividend today. It fell as much as around 2% in early morning trade, and that's because in May they had announced, the board had announced a dividend of around 4 per equity share, and it was during the earnings, Q4 earnings, and August 18, that is today, that has been fixed as the record date. So that is why we can see Coal India is feeling under pressure, and but then it's still down around 1.8%. Morning it was down around 2.2% in trade, and they also came out with an update saying that they had scored an 8.5% growth. That is for the first 4 months, that from April to July in their capex plans, and they also achieved 28.3% of their target capex of around 16,600 crore for FY24. So that's Coal India, and that is why it's in focus in today's session.
Okay, let's move on and to stock number 27, and Godfrey Phillips. Dhwani is the stock that you've picked out for us next. In terms of the charts, what is it indicating now? Where is the stock headed?
When you're talking about this particular counter, what becomes interesting is a weekly chart over here. On weekly, we've already seen a run up where the stock moved from 1050, and we had a top forming up at 2200 levels. We saw again some retracement over here. It's time to go fresh entry into this particular counter. From current levels, one can hold the stock positionally in their portfolio. 2720 seems to be the next target on this particular counter. Stop loss over here comes up at 2035.
Okay, let's move on and talk about Zydus Life, and why is Zydus Life in focus today. We are seeing that Zydus Life is actually seeing strong gains, but has given up those morning gains. And now what has actually come in for the company is an approval from the US FDA. Now this approval is a final approval from the US FDA for the doxepin tablets, which is for 3 mg as well as 6 mg. And on the back of that, we've seen a nice jump up coming in as a stock in early morning trade. Also trading with gains of more than 1.5% at one point of time. As of now, yes, it's given up all those gains. So let's keep an eye out on this one. But Zydus Life is trading on the positive side even as of now, though the markets are weak. We're seeing Zydus Life is managing to hold on to gains, 0.3% of uptick that is coming in after the final approval from the US FDA for the doxepin tablets for the company.
All right, so that is Zydus Life for you. But Dhwani, CG Power, how are the charts looking for this one? Because this one also has seen good, smart run up in the last 6 months, 32%.
So the chart over here, we've seen a parabolic rise in this particular counter. On a weekly, if we see it, it's like just a 45-degree line of an up move that we are seeing in this counter. From current levels also, one can go into this long into this particular counter. Trailing stop loss is a strategy that works out really well for these kind of counters. The trailing stop loss over here for this counter comes at 414 levels, and one can go long from current levels as well into this sector, keeping a risk reward of 1:2. 440 should be the next target on this one.
All right, moving on then, and let's talk about GMM Pfaudler. That is in focus in today's trading session. In the morning, we saw a huge block deal take place in GMM Pfaudler, and the company then later on came out with an exchange release where they said that the Pfaudler has actually gone ahead and sold 13.6% equity stake in GMM Pfaudler through block deals. They said that the 9.9% equity stake of the company was purchased by funds affiliated by Christ Capital. They've also said that 3.7% of equity stake in the company has been purchased by other investors. Also, the two nominee directors of Pfaudler, that is, have also tendered their resignation as of August 18. But the company also said that the Patel family continues to remain the largest shareholder of the company. And they're saying that the family has also reiterated the commitment to purchase the remaining 1% equity stake from Pfaudler at a price of 1,700 rupees per share as agreed in December 2022. So you had GMM Pfaudler after the news of the block deal. The stock saw a sharp downtick as much as about 7 to 8% from there on, but it has recovered from the day's lowest point, now trading with minor losses.
Okay. That is GMM Pfaudler for you all. Surely keeping an eye out on that one. Let's move on and talk about an FMCG name, and we have Britannia that you have picked out for us, Dhwani. When you look at it in terms of the move that has come in for the stock, especially in the last 1 month as well, we have seen a sharper fall coming in for Britannia, 11% down in the last 1 month as well. What is your view on the charts now? Is it time to actually pick up Britannia at the current price of 4,500? Would it be a buy, or would you expect some bit more of a correction for Britannia now?
So not only Britannia, but the overall FMCG pack has been showing some signs of recovery over here. Britannia, particularly as a chart, becomes more interesting to me because it's taking a support at a 200 period exponential moving average currently, and from there we are seeing some bounce coming in on this counter. One can definitely go long into Britannia at current levels. The stop loss over here for this particular counter comes at very low rates of 44,070 over here. So 4470 is a stop loss one can maintain and hold it for a mean reverting trade for a target of 4770.
All right, can hold on to Britannia is what Dhwani has to say. But moving on, Ankita, AU Small Finance Bank, why is this in your list today?
That's right, Cheryl. AU Small Finance Bank, it's up almost 1.5% in trade today, and that is on the back of a note that Motilal Oswal came out with today, and they have upgraded the stock to buy with the target price of 825 rupees per share. Now, according to them, AU Small Finance Bank has delivered an impressive 54 to 37% CAGR in deposits and loan over FY 18 and 23 respectively. Now, it has evolved as a strong franchise not just in the SFB segment but in an overall mid-cap banking space. Now, they also feel that scaling up of new products, widening of geographical reach, aggressive investment in technology and thrust on physical expansion should support their long-term growth. Now, they estimate that the bank will maintain industry-leading loan growth at around 28% CAGR over FY 23 to 25 estimate, and the near-term pressure on margins will remain an overhang on the stock performance. They estimate that the earnings growth will accelerate from FY 25 onwards to 35%, leading to an ROA and ROE of 1.9% and 17% respectively. And on the back of that, we can see the counter buzzing in trade up almost 1.5%.
Absolutely. Let's move on and talk about Ambuja Cements then on the charts, Dhwani. And when you look at it, in the last 1 year, obviously at one point of time, those highs were at 598 levels, then it corrected to 300. Now making some bit of a recovery there. Last 6 months, 28% uptick. Should we expect those high levels, 1 year high, 52-week high levels reaching anytime soon, or maybe it's going to be a slow and steady race for Ambuja Cements?
So over here in Ambuja, it's going to be a slow and steady race, but then a comparative analysis puts more perspective to this particular counter. We've already seen Adani Group giving a good move, and we are seeing ACC also giving good moves today. But as we are comparing the charts, Ambuja becomes more conviction over here, because from the current levels, one can go long into it. The prices over here are trading above 50 and 200 period exponential moving average. And overall, what we are seeing in ADX also, the momentum is coming in this particular counter even faster as compared to the other counters. From current levels, one can go long into it. The target initially extends up here over here at 485 and that can go to 500 levels. Stop loss over here, ideally one should maintain is of 430. Going ahead, after 500 we'll see further momentum, but till then it's going to be a slow and steady. It's more of a trading counter right now.
All right, so that's the view coming in on Ambuja Cement. But Lisa, Tata Steel, why is this in the spotlight in today's trading session?
Talk about two Tata Group companies, actually Tata Steel as well as another unknown, it's an unknown company belonging to Tata Group, TRF Limited. It's a small cap company around 238 crore. But so the board of TRF, they will be meeting on September 18th, and that is to discuss on the merger, to consider the merger of TRF with Tata Steel, and that will be approved through a scheme of amalgamation. We're talking about TRF a bit. It's associated with a business pertaining to material handling equipment such as reclaimers, stackers, as well as other types of machinery for screening as well as sorting. So Tata Steel, it's trading flat around 0.26%, but TRF it's up around 16% in today's session. So that is why Tata Steel is in focus today.
All right, that is Tata Steel and TRF, that is both in focus in today's trading session. In fact, TRF stock price was higher by above 17% on back of this news, Vinny.
Surely keeping an eye out on that one. Let's keep an eye on both the stocks. But let's move on and talk about pharma name, right? Pharma it's been like the new buzzword that has come in there, and it's only pharma. So, Dhwani, Biocon is the stock that you've picked out for us today on the charts. And in terms of Biocon, what should we be expecting in terms of the up move now with the pharma pack already gaining so much traction? Look at the up move that we've seen, 12% there. In the last couple of months specifically, we've seen a higher increase coming in. Now, what is the target for Biocon?
So Biocon, particularly as a chart structure, is trading in an upward rising channel. What we are looking forward to in Biocon over here is a swing trade, where we are trading from the bottom of the channel to the upward resistance of the channel. From current levels, one can go long into it. Keep a stop loss over here at 253, and the channel top over here comes at 275, so which also gives us a good risk reward trade over here.
Let's move on, and that is Biocon for y'all. Keep an eye on those levels over there. But let's move on and talk about HOEC, and why is that stock in focus today? We're seeing that the stock has been beaten down for the last couple of trading sessions as well. When you look at it just in the last couple of days, it's almost down 20-30%. Today itself, it's down 12%, trading at the day's lowest point as of now as well. And you know, today what happened was that there was a con call that happened with the management, where they said that, and actually the main function and the main reason for that fall that we're seeing coming in is because the management did not provide any production guidance for that B80 field, which is very important and which everyone was looking out for in terms of any guidance coming in on that front, which the company has in terms of the B80 field. And there was no production guidance. Because of that, you know, that is one factor that is there. Otherwise, management also indicated that the production ramp up will now take some bit of a time, and because of that, you know, slight bit of a delay, concerns on that front is something that is coming, not working out well with the street, and that is why we're seeing that fall coming in HOEC, that's Hindustan Oil Exploration, even today in trade. And yesterday also we had seen the fall coming in, and post the numbers it has been a bit sluggish in trade. So let's keep an eye out on HOEC today, down almost 12.5% as of now.
All right, that is HOEC under immense pressure in trade today, 12% downtick coming in for that one. But Dhwani, Zydus Wellness, how is this one looking at the charts to you?
So what we are seeing over here, if you look at a broader chart structure, has been more of a consolidated move that we are seeing in this particular counter. But what interests me today in this counter is the volumes. The volumes over here today that are picking up are really good, and that is what brings attraction to this counter. The stock is already trading above its short-term moving averages, and it's also crossing above a 50-period exponential moving average on a chart today, and on a Friday crossing over here suggests more strength coming in on this particular counter. One can go positionally long into this one at it for a target of 1600 initially, and keeping a stop loss at 1540.
All right, moving on then, let's talk about Bata India, and that particular counter is in focus in today's trading session. Remember, yesterday you had reports saying that Bata is looking for a partnership with Adidas, and the company has come out with their clarification on that particular development, where they've said that they continue to explore opportunities for strategic alliance and tie-up for the Indian market. That's a clarification coming in from Bata India. The stock, however, started the day in the negative territory, then saw a smart recovery, now holding on to mild bit of losses in today's trading session.
Okay, let's move on and talk about Imami then. And Dhwani, one more FMCG name that you've picked out, Imami now. What are the charts that are indicating for Imami? 34% return, much better than what we were seeing for Britannia. So in terms of that, what is the up move you're expecting for Imami now?
So Imami as a counter also becomes attractive over here apart from Britannia. The reason that the volumes also we've seen in the past week in this particular counter have been very interesting, and the candle structure also has been showing very bullish moves up for this particular counter. For current price, one can go long into it. The targets over here in the next coming weeks can extend up to 580, and positionally we can see 600 also on this particular counter. Stop loss one needs to maintain over here on the lower side is of 505.
All right, so that's the take coming in on Imami. Ankita, Repro India, why is this in the spotlight today?
That's correct, Cheryl. Repro is in focus today as they've raised 85 crores via preferential issue of shares at 765 rupees per share, and this preferential issue is going to be at a discount of 9%. Now, Madhusudan Kela promoted entity has invested 50 crore rupees, and they already own a 3.5% stake in the company. And on the back of that, Repro India is going to be in focus today.
Okay, let's keep an eye out on Repro India today. As of now, very sluggish in trade, down almost 0.2% in trade. Moving on to the next one, and stock number 41 for today, we're going to talk about a footwear company, that is Campus Activewear. Campus Activewear is in focus in the last couple of trading sessions as well. What we've seen coming in is that we've seen a lot of HNI buying scene coming in here, buying scene in the last few trading sessions as well. And the key DII investors who are invested in the company are ABSL Mutual Fund, Motilal Oswal Mutual Fund as well, which are some of the key investors who are already there. Now, obviously, let's not forget, the stock has also seen a correction of 53% from its 2022 highs, and it's at the cheapest valuations among its peers as well. So obviously that's a factor that makes it attractive as well when you talk about the footwear space. And keeping it attractive, now triggers going forward for the company in terms of the earnings wise, what we have updates coming in, there is the management said that there is more margin improvement expected, especially in the second half of this FY24 as well. The company has not taken any significant price hikes so far, and they are anticipating to increase its EBITDA margins to 19.5 to 20.5. That's the range that they're expecting it to be in. So yes, commentary also has been quite strong coming in from the management in their earnings as well. And today also we are seeing that the stock is a buzz and trade, 5% uptick as of now as well. That's for Campus Activewear.
All right, so that's Campus Activewear. That's seeing sharp uptick of as much as 4.8%. But Lisa, NTPC, this one has been a top favorite for a lot of technical analysts of late. But why is this on your list today?
Well, NTPC, they have announced that they will be hiving off their mining business to their subsidiary, that is NTPC Mining Limited, and the coal mining business, which comprises around 6 coal mines, and all related assets as well as liabilities also will be transferred. The consideration for this transaction, that is around 7,794 crore, and it will be adjusted based on the revised balance sheet of the coal mining business. So the revenue from this coal mining business proposed to be transferred, that comes to around 4,000 odd crore in FY23, which is just around 2% of NTPC's overall revenue. So not much impact for NTPC. So that is why NTPC is in focus in today's session.
All right, let's put the spotlight then on Chola Finance, and this particular stock is in focus because Morgan Stanley has come out with their research tactical note on this particular counter, where they are saying that they believe that the share price will fall relative to the index over the next 60 days. And the reason why they are saying this is they are saying that given the fact that we have seen a weaker CPI inflation print, and also they are expecting this particular print to be slightly elevated in the near term. They believe that the NBFC stocks, which actually missed the NIMS estimates in Q1, they are likely to see pressure going ahead. So Chola Finance actually missed Morgan Stanley NIMS estimates, PAT estimates by approximately 11%, and this was actually driven by much lower NIMS than the management had actually guided. Therefore, they are expecting the stock price to be under pressure over the next 60 days as compared to the benchmark indices.
Okay, surely keeping an eye out on that one. But that was stock number 43 and the last stock for today. So thank you so much, Vaishali, Dhwani, Lisa, as well as Ankita for joining in with us. And thank you so much, viewers, for tuning in to Market Fatafat on ET Now. It's a goodbye from Sharon, myself, as well as the team who put the show together.